What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. In today's video I'm going to be changing the lambda sensor on the Corsa as mine has failed. It's the one underneath the second cat, well in my case the second D cat. Last week I had an engine management light come on, I plugged my code reader in, it said the heat control circuit on the second sensor has failed, so my fuel consumption has gone up quite significantly, and sometimes when it's hot it won't start. It will take a while to start. It'll crank over a lot more than it usually would. So it's only started doing that since the engine management light came on. Unfortunately, what part I've got is a second-hand one, as due to mine being a Z16. If you guys didn't know already, the A16 and Z16, the second lambda is in a different position. So the A16 sits further forward as the Z16 sits further back, so I need a long wire to go up to the engine. However, trying to buy one of these brand new is an absolute pain, and Oliver Linden, he's a breaker in Birmingham, he managed to give me one for really good money, a really cheap price, so I'm going to throw that on now. Either a 22mm spanner or a lambda socket that removes it. Like, you can obviously put that over the wire so you can turn it if it's really stuck, but I've had mine off quite a lot, so 22mm should suffice, but I brought that out just in case. And obviously you need a socket set or whatever ratchet just to put on there, and you're going to use this to try and get the plastic clips off that hold the wire onto the car to remove them, hopefully. So jack the car up now, put out stands and stuff like that, get it safe, and then I'll crawl underneath. Right guys, as you can see, this is a lambda I need to remove. Obviously these are the clips that hold it all on, obviously the wire on even. I'm going to give this a bit of a squirty squirt, just to hopefully try and free that up. I kind of hope I don't have to take the spacer out as well, because obviously because I'm running D-cut, I've run this spacer so it doesn't cause the light to come on, but hey ho, we'll try and get him off without taking the spacer out, preferably. Right, let's see how easy this is to crack. Oh. That's loose now. Obviously when I put the new one on, it's going to be a lot easier. It's not going to fucking tangle the wire. Oh, I can't feel it's going to happen. I'm going to have to do it for fucking now. Right, that's out, thankfully. Now, next job is to try and unclip this behind this heat shield and follow it down. So I'm going to get my little tool. Right, that's my little tool here. This might not work, but I'm kind of hoping it will. Work nicely. Try and get this back out. Right guys, sit rep. I've obviously took these two clips out here. The looks of it, there's one, literally, I don't know if you can see, literally there's one here, right under this thing, so I'll try and get something in there to pop that out. And I've also noticed there's like a box, if you can really see it, it's too dark, there's like a box on the end of this, and the plug goes up there. So I'm trying to figure out now, I'm going to get this back one off, so I can untangle it all really, I suppose, try and feed it through one way or another. Right guys, I've got it out. You can see there, where is he? It's there. That's that bugger there. It's a bit of a pain. I'll use that tool I said to unclip it. So now I'm going to try and feed it through. I don't know if to feed it through from the back to the front or the front to the back, or to push the sensor through that way, down there, down through that hole there, or try and unplug it and then pull the plug through. I think that's going to be the best option. So there's not a lot of space up there. There really ain't. I think I'm going to have to try and feed the plug through. I think that's the only option I'm going to have. Right then. The sensor is, the plug is there. So I'm going to try and unplug that and pull it through. Well, that's the plan anyway. Should be interesting. Everything's in the way. There's not exactly much room to get your hand in there to unplug it. But hey ho, I'll try my best. Well then guys, it's out finally. I found the easiest way to do it was to try and see that plastic thing it sort of sits in, is to slide it out of that, and then you can pull it down enough just to unplug it, get your thing, because when it's in that little like retainer thing, you can't get your hand on it enough to pull it disconnect it. But once it's out of that, you can click the button on the connector, and it unplugs a lot easier. I've just spent about 20 minutes trying to unplug it in that position there, and then I realised it was on that plastic retainer thing. If you can see it there, like there. So once you slide out of that, it's a lot easier. Right guys, you can see I've got it out. I found it's best to take this through the front of the car, because when you try and pull it that way, all this just doesn't go through. This is that plastic thing I was talking about. I have no idea what that's for, but I'm going to try and transfer it onto this one. I don't know what sort of purpose it serves. If anyone knows what that is, comment. As you can see, it's quite long. It's a long lead compared to the A16. It's quite short. So I'm going to try and transfer this across. Obviously, it must be there for a reason. So I'm going to put that on there if I can, and then I'll start refitting. Well, I've swapped this plastic thing onto the new one, or the newer one. I noticed on the one I've got hasn't got one of these plastic clip things, so I'm going to have to just zip tie it now. I think that's all I can really do. Put a zip tie around that, and then that should keep it in position. Whatever randomly thing it does, I have no idea. I'm going to try and fish it back through the car now. I just need to. I plugged it in first because I just wanted that bit out of the way. So what I have to do is have to sort of counter wind this a different way, so when I turn it in, it doesn't twist the cable. That's the plan anyway. So that's what I usually do when I do my lambda sensors on these. I usually just twist it the wrong way a few times first, so basically undo the wire so it twists it round. And then when I do it up into the spacer or the exhaust, when I'm doing it up, it just straightens it out. Right, that's hand tightened now, so I'm just literally going to nip it up with a spanner, just to get not too much, just enough so it's in there. I ain't going to go anywhere now. So next thing, port call. I'm just trying to clear this because obviously this lambda sensor didn't come with the clip, the awkward one, so they must have broke it when they removed it. So I'm just going to zip tie this out of the way so it's away from the exhaust as much as I can, and then we'll plug the OBD in, the diagnostics, to make sure I can clear the code and start the car. Well, I've just zip tied it to here, just so it keeps it out of the way from the exhaust and all the heat and stuff. So that's where I put it, through the two holes here in the chassis leg. So let's go and plug it in and see if I can clear the code now. And when I start it, it should hopefully go away, I hope. Well, that was almost a fail, guys. I just realised I put the wire on the outside of the heat shield instead of tucking through the inside of the heat shield. What a donut I am. So I'm going to crack off the lambda sensor now, unclip it, feed it back through the back. What a spanner. Oh well, never mind. We all make mistakes, don't we? So. Right guys, it's back on properly now. I've just quickly undone it and tucked it through the heat shield. So that's on properly, my bad that was. But yeah, it's all back together now, so let's plug it in and see what's happening. Well, it's saying no codes are stored, so that's a good start. Let's try again. Brilliant. So hopefully now when I turn the car on, it should, the engine management light should go off. Right guys, let's hope the light goes off when I turn the engine on. Fingers crossed, eh? Woohoo! Yes! Thank God for that. Well, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you're changing the lambda sensor yourself, hopefully that sort of clear things up of how to do it. It's not something I'd like to do again in a hurry. It's a very fiddly job. I found unplugging the actual lambda itself was hard because you can't see. You only got used to your one arm, so you're sort of you're looking, just trying to feel it and just trying to do it with one arm. And when I was putting it back in, it was hard to just get it together with one hand because there's no room for your second hand to get in there. But I've done it in the end, and I'm sure we'll get you guys if you need to change your lambda sensor. It's quite a rare thing to do, but my car's done a lot of miles, so it's probably the original lambda sensor from factory. So that explains why it's probably failed. So as always, guys, drop a like down if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.